Good evening, everyone. This is Angel Muscane, District Manager for Community Board 11 and Staff Liaison to our Youth and Education Committee. Welcome to the June 14th, 2022 meeting of the Youth and Education Committee. Before we get started, just wanted to share some of the ground rules on how we're going to conduct the meeting. One, no one may speak until granted the floor. Community board members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. If you click on the participants icon, the participants panel should appear and you'll find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to me and I'll try to assist you in the background. The chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us of any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane to the discussion. And lastly, members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. And with that, I hand it over to David Giordano, Chair of this committee.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome current members. Welcome new members who are still deciding on which committees they want to be part of. We hope you to join the Youth and Education. This is our official last meeting for the year. Unfortunately, we do not necessarily meet during July and August, but I would like to extend that maybe we do get together as a group, and those that will continue on this committee and those that are interested in just finding out a little bit more on it, maybe having a little schmooze and just have some time together and space together. So I look forward to reaching out to each of you and see if you're interested in that as well. I just want to say, as we sum up this year, I think we've had a really good year of meetings. Unfortunately, we did not meet last month due to quorum issues. However, I think we've been very productive. We've been very efficient. Sometimes meetings run a little longer, but I think we're getting better at that so that we're really making our time here worth the time that everybody here is putting in. Again, I want to thank our previous committee liaison. Angel, you did say you were the liaison for this. Does that mean you're staying with us when you hire somebody new, or maybe not? But either way, we love your presence.
That's a present tense.
Present tense. Okay.
I'm bald enough.
We'll enjoy the time we share together. I think your wisdom, Angel, has always supported the work of the board and also our committee as well. Again, I want to thank all, everybody that does come every month, especially with our informational updates. Dr. Christy De La Cruz. I want to just thank you personally again for the work that you've done in supporting both the community of children, but the community board as well, and the community D4, and really coming out for our two events with children that we had that were very special. And the way that you spoke about those events, I just listened and said, oh, I wish I was part of those. But it just shows you when we give youth a platform, what youth will do in return. We don't have a long agenda tonight, so I hope to get through very quickly, and I'll pass it on to Dr. Christie for our informational updates. And thank you for sharing our space with us.
Let me just do the roll call first to confirm attendance before we move on.
Always jumping ahead.
Committee members, when I call your name, please answer present. Leroy Andino. Angela Donadell.
Here.
David Giordano. John Green.
Present.
Sabasia Robinson T. Natasha Rodriguez.
Here.
Isaac Scott.
Present.
Russell Schuler.
Present.
And Jason Wood.
Present.
We have quorum. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. And Dr. Christie, we'll pass it over to you for the informational updates.
Good evening. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. Happy June. Happy Tuesday. Thinking of everyone. As David said, there's a lot going on in the community. It's good to see you too, Angela. We just ran into each other physically not too long ago, but June is full of moving up ceremonies, graduation, proms, and we've also had a lot of great youth equity forums, thanks to Children's Aid, David, our community-based partners, just a lot of wonderful events. And we also had, the Puerto Rican Day festivities upcoming right now. Oh, today we celebrated years of service, both all of our first-year teachers as well as our 25-year-old teachers with 25 plus. Tomorrow, we're going to celebrate all of our parent leaders and parent volunteers. We had our CEC, but I think Rose is here. She'll be able to talk about our CEC meeting last week. But just trying to close out the year, D4 El Barrio strong, right? And supporting each other. Fifth, also summer meals, and something that everyone should know about begins June 28th. We have 9 sites. They will have breakfast and lunch, and you only need to be 18 years old or older to pick up from these sites. It was at our CEC meeting, and anybody that has questions about them. The only 2 sites that only have lunch only are our 2 pools at the Jefferson and at Wagner. Those 2 pools only serve lunch, but there's a lot of free summer meals in the 9 sites. Summer Rising is planning and preparing for Summer Rising. As many of you heard about the budget cuts, we are supporting our principals one-to-one and meeting with their budget director. And right now the priority is making sure that we get to keep all of our staff members. I think those are the main things. Last day of school is June 27th. So this is the last full week, and we have, congratulations to all of our graduates. I see Ash here, and she was a powerhouse at our youth forum for equity with Ashley Biden, and I'm just so proud of our D4 community. I'll be here for, any questions that you have. Feel free to reach out anytime. And you also we have our amazing CEC is here as well, but just a lot of great things going on. So thank you. And I know that the press will be covering some of our proms coming up, last year activities. So trying to that not only do we know all these great things going on, but that other people will know about the great things going on in East Harlem. Question by Jason.
Yeah, in terms of the city budget, can you share a little bit more regarding how the cutting of $215 million from the education budget would impact our district?
So I'll be quite honest. It's impacting. I have a spreadsheet about how it's impacting. So all of our schools right now, they're registered. So we get paid. Let me backtrack. We get paid per student in the city. And right now, for the majority of our schools, our register projections are lower than normal. And so even in previous years, most of our money goes to just making sure that we keep our staff. When you have a seasoned staff, you pay more, your teacher average is more. And so that takes up more of your budgeting. For us as a D4, and I only have one school in my portfolio, the biggest thing that we're seeing is just, making sure that we can keep all of our staff right now. That's our goal, is to keep all of our staff so we don't have to excess people. But as people want to have the arts. They want to have, I have one school that I'm dealing with right now where it's like they have drama, music, horror, and art. And, they have multiple arts, and it's part of their mission and vision. And they don't want to have to get rid of or let go of one. So then it's like, how do we help our schools strategize to make sure that everyone has how many periods are they teaching? Are we maxing out? So I don't know if that answers your questions in detail. For us, it's like, since all of our money is going to just staffing, we're not going to have a lot of additional funding for other things, supplies, per session, per diem, unless it's granted later on. So that's what I'm seeing so far. We're still in the middle. Like, I haven't met with all of the schools where our goal is that we have these one-to-one budget meetings and strategize. And then a lot of times we have to come back to the table because we look at programming. We look at, are we providing our mandated services for special ed and our multilingual learners? That's a priority. But that's like the first layer. And what we're seeing, because our registers are small, is that we have some schools, we have like 8 schools in the district that have less than 200 students. And so it's like they don't have enough money, or it's hard for them to have money for an assistant principal. So then how do I strategically put another school leader in the building, whether it's a person who's been accessed or someone with a school building license, to make sure that we have at least 2 administrators in every building. Feel free, I mean, Jace, does that, if you have, I mean, we had our last CEC meeting, and I can share the PowerPoint, or if you email me, I'll put my email in the chat. I can share with you. We had a fair student funding presentation at our last CEC meeting, and it gives a better breakdown of like how the money is being spent.
That's really helpful. And I just want to say, like, it's absolutely outrageous to cut $215 million from education. Absolutely outrageous.
Well, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank our parent leaders and our advocates. I know that these there have been a lot of rallies, petitions, people coming together to advocate for us to about these cuts and where the money is being spent. And so I just want to thank you for supporting our schools.
You know, I think it's so crazy that we fought and advocated to get the fair student funding. They say we get it, and now we take back money. You know, again, where's the equity, as we've learned over the past years and some of the work that we've done? So, Dr. Christie, one thing I have learned also is that, and I've heard you say it, but I've also learned it being in the school, it really does go on salaries. And even today, a young person that interviewed for a job at PS 72 as a teacher said one of the things they liked was the tenure of teachers, that teachers stayed long periods of time and did not leave the neighborhood necessarily or the school. And then, you know, again, people look for equity in teachers and teachers being around, but the longer you keep a teacher that has experience, the more expensive they become. And that's the same for us in the nonprofit world with school age, you know, and after school programs. How do we manage keeping experienced people when that money may not necessarily be around to the same degree?
And thank you, David, for lifting that, because one thing that I've always thought and advocated is like, here we want schools to have teacher retention, right? We want to keep these high quality teachers. So I wish that schools could get, you know, some kind of incentive that if you have this many teachers, because we do have different schools and their average teacher salary is higher than others. And so the majority of the budget does go to just keeping teacher salaries. I think I saw that Ash's hand was raised.
Ash, go ahead.
Oh no, like at my school, we're currently having the problem where there's like 3 teachers retiring this year and they might not have the funding to replace those teachers. So it's like, I'm like seeing it even like now that I'm graduating, I'm not gonna be there next year, but they're probably gonna have to like drop one of the English classes. So it's a little bit ridiculous.
You know, and I think experienced teachers play such another role in modeling and role modeling and mentoring newer teachers coming in. You know, sometimes we learn from our supervisors, but sometimes we learn from our peers, right? That have experience, that show us the way, that help us learn how to navigate through systems. And it becomes a real loss, institutional knowledge as well. So thank you for raising that, Jason. And thank you, Dr. Christie.
And before I go, I just want to also say, you know, part of the celebration. So tonight is the debut. It's the Museum Mile, and we actually have some D4 artists that are, their artwork's going to be at the Met, the Metropolitan Museum, for the remainder of the year. So really proud. Last Monday, we had 171, and CPE2 perform at the Apollo, and I'm biased. They were absolutely amazing. And we've also had at the MoMA. And then the other thing that I really want to share, and I think Rosa might have put it in the chat, this Saturday at the 007 campus on 120th Street in Lexington is the Art of Healing event. Free, completely free, 12 to 4. There's going to be performances. Our elected officials are going to be there, counselors. It's a whole community event. Hoping that you can join us at any part of that time to come together in response to the community violence that we've experienced, but to promote a healing centered approach as a community. So please join us if you're available. And thanks again for inviting me to the space. I can't stay for the whole time because I want to try to make it over to the Met before it closes. But I see Angel.
Thank you, Dr. La Cruz. So two things. One, to the committee about D4, just received the notification, my annual notification from Nancy Pereira about D4's back to school, which will be, I think, the beginning of October. And, my annual plea for committee board members to attend the back to school fair in the fall. I know it's a couple of months from now, but it's a really wonderful event and really positive. And I've always really enjoyed it when I've had the opportunity to attend. And then on the other end, I'm not quite as wonderful. So Dr. De La Cruz, at our land use committee meeting last month, we heard an update from the Education and Construction Fund in regards to their project at 96th Street that was supposed to, as part of a larger development project, supposed to build a new school building to house Heritage High School and Park East High School. We were informed at that meeting that due to a number of issues, given to, according to them, the delay in starting construction on that project, that the financing has become challenging and that they're looking for alternate locations for the development of the school building that would house those two schools. I was wondering if ECF has been in contact with you at the district, and if it hasn't, then I want to just bring it to your attention.
Yep, thank you so much for lifting that. And Rosa, she's also part of the Manhattan Council. So those schools are not in my portfolio. Those two high schools are actually right now under Vivian Orland. I only have one school in my portfolio, and that is in the Tito Puente complex, Esperanza. Definitely.
Thank you,
Yeah, I'll reach out to you offline so you can if you can connect me with that superintendent, that'd be great.
Yep.
Generally, high schools are citywide,
Mhm.
so that's the kind of difference as they opposed to things. So I'll say two things very quick, and then we'll get Rosa on because she has to go to another meeting. So October 1st, Angel, as you mentioned, it's October 1st, and it will be, the welcome back celebration, and there's going to be a focus on Hispanic heritage. So please come out and make sure you're there. Also, the two events. Well, I'll let Rosa go because she has to go to another meeting. So Rosa, why don't you come on? Yeah, Rosa.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for holding this space. I just wanted to say my little two piece. On June 8th, we had our CEC 4 meeting, and we did the fair student funding formula presentation, Office of Food and Nutrition Services. We also had, we provided the opportunity to parents to see if they want to be involved in the community. And because we do have 3 vacancies and we want more parent involvement in all our 23 schools. And yes, just like Dr. Christie mentioned, we are gonna be here on Saturday, PS7 in 120th. Hopefully I'll see you guys. And I'll see if I can bring some goodies from the office. But I will drop in the chat my information just in case anyone has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on in the community. So also on that October 1st one, Angel reached out so that we can have board members attend. It would be very helpful. Last year, I attended for Children's Aid, Community Board 11, and DJ'd, and had the table behind me with staff. So it would be good if we can get some members out. I know some of us cross-reference, so we could put that union settlement table next to us and we could share that space together with other people. But it is really good to come out where parents and families can meet other providers in the neighborhood. It's a wonderful event where we celebrate. Last year, the chancellor came out, was doing the electric slide with us and the cha-cha slide. So please come out if you can, help man tables, but also enjoy the space. Two of the things that Dr. Christie talked about, I thought I really need to mention was the two events we had that we worked on equity. One was with the East Harlem Consortium, in which worked with 8th graders at PS 72 Lexington Academy and worked on issues of diversity, equity, and a whole bunch of issues that were important to youth. And we created a forum and space for youth to talk. 20 of them really worked on creating a forum. In that forum, 6 of the youth, 4 were presenters and the other 2 emceed. But it was a real dialogue. There were youth there. There were community members from the consortium. Angela was there as well. I was driving everybody crazy because the music kept going in and out, the sound. But it was a really great event. And one of the things that was so moving is that one of the young ladies talked about parents and their relationship with parents. And that young lady's parent was in the audience. And that young lady's parent responded how she didn't know and didn't understand, and how important it was that she reevaluates her space with her own daughter as she goes forward. And I can't tell you how impressed I think everybody there was with the young people and how they decided on what would be the issues discussed, what would be the issues presented. Previous to that, they had been on a Zoom conference with the consortium where 4 of them presented on a Zoom meeting in one little small screen. And it shows you the platform that when we give kids an opportunity and provide them with the resources and support, they will always rise to the top and be amazed at what they show you in return. Equally, Dr. Chrissy also participated in another event Children's Aid sponsored as a Boys and Girls Club. So I don't know if many of you know, but Children's Aid Society is the Boys and Girls Club of America. We were helping the founding members in I think it was 1905. And Children's Aid has been around since 1853. But we helped support and found and develop the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. So part of what we did is create a space where Ashley Biden had worked with the children over the last 4 months, both in live and on Zoom meetings, where we developed work around equity and different areas of poverty and inequities, rather, around food, around voting, around schools, around LGBTQ. And our very own Ash Rodriguez, Natasha Rodriguez, Ash Rodriguez, was one of the speakers and was one of the presenters on the work. And again, it really showed when you give kids a platform and you give them a voice and you listen to them, you really will be amazed at how in tune they are to the things around them and how they also present solutions, not just what are the issues, but present solutions. So Tracy, I want to stop and get you, but I don't know if Ash wants to add anything. Ash was more involved in directly working with the other youth. Ash is also Children's Aid Society Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. Unfortunately, we got to the regionals and we didn't win there, but Ash is our champion of New York and our champion of East Harlem, born and raised. Ash, would you want to say anything?
It wasn't really, I don't want to give myself any credit because it really was the middle schoolers who, like, we sat there for like almost every day leading up to it. We were there doing research, and it was interesting just hearing, because like I'm a senior in high school and a lot of the kids were 8th graders. So it's different. I feel like my perspective of stuff is a lot different than the middle schoolers in a way, because we're like two different, like, so it was a lot of fun. Ashley Biden was amazing. Ashley Bynes' assistant was amazing also. And it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of work, but we got it done and it was an amazing event. So yeah, the kids, I still have some of the kids texting me about it. They had a lot of fun. So
Remember, Ash, you were one of those middle schoolers 4 years ago. And again,
no, I'm saying like it's a different time now to be in middle school than it was like when I was, yes.
oh, it sure is. We were practicing graduation at PS 72 today. It sure was a different time. But, again, this is where we help develop our young leaders, give them opportunities. Ash is part of our Keystone and the Keystone president at Children's Aid. And Ash, and along with about 6 other young people, will be going to California as part of Boys and Girls Club, where they'll be with other youth from around the country, probably about 1,500 youth, all packed into a hotel, having a 3-day conference. Oh, no, it is really wonderful, Angela. And it's amazing that the opportunities they get to learn about their community. But Tracy, Ms. Campbell, please unmute yourself and share.
Hi, how are you? Okay, so hold on. I'm just trying to see. Can you guys see me? I don't think you guys could see me. But my name is Tracy and I work for Street Corner Resources. I just wanted to give an update along with some things that we have for the youth and the graduates this year. This weekend on Saturday, we're having the Juneteenth parade. And we would like for you guys to invite any graduates that you guys have. We have a floaty just for the graduates. And we wanted to let everybody know for the summer youth program, for the kids starting at the age of 18 to 24, you could send them to Street Corner Resources because we're giving them jobs, opportunity, and we have our own summer youth program going on this summer. So that's pretty much the updates that we have this week. And we just wanted to say thank you for all the meetings and, see you guys next year.
Hello? I'm
Yes.
sorry, David, I did not hear if she said where the Juneteenth parade would be?
What street?
The Juneteenth parade is this weekend. So we're starting at the 125th Street at 11.
And where are you going to?
We're walking to, I think it's 135th Street.
What avenue?
Hold on one second. On Adams.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have any graduates that would like to be on the float, I'm gonna put my information in the chat, and then you could just contact me, and they could come and meet us early, and we'll have like little things that they could wear on the float.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll put my email and my cell phone number.
Don, you had a question, please.
Well, no, actually, Angela asked the question that I was going to ask. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Angela, for jumping the gun, John's gun. So as we continue, we do have Marco Perez from the DA's office who will talk more about the event on Saturday, the Art of Healing Festival. Marco, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me in this space. Thank you for the introduction, David. Again, my name is Marco Perez Jr., and I'm the East Harlem Community Engagement Coordinator at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Our office is having one event this weekend, but I have 2 announcements for another event as well. So this weekend on Saturday, June 18th, we are having the Art of Healing Festival. Essentially, what this event is a creative, artistic, and healing space to address gun violence through artistic expression. We will really want to open up a space for the community to address gun violence trauma through art. And we think that art has a powerful way of doing that. There's going to be food, dance performances, spoken word performances, music. Elected officials are going to come by and give a couple of speeches. We're going to have art resource fair with art stations ranging from creating a mural to creating t-shirts. Furthermore, the Art of Healing is going to be at PS7, which is located at 160 East 120th Street, New York, New York, 10035. The event is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. I've also emailed David and Angel the flyer and asked if it could be shared amongst all the attendees within this event, and I will put my information in the chat for contact information if anyone has any questions on the first event. And again, that's this Saturday, June 18th, PS7 from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. The second event I would like to go over, Manhattan District Attorney's Office is having a gun buyback on June 25th. That's the following Saturday after this Saturday. That event is at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Soul Saving Station, 302 West 124th Street, New York, New York, 10027. Essentially, the gun buyback is an event that we're creating to urge community members to surrender their guns with an incentive. If an individual surrenders an operable gun or assault rifle, they get $500 on a prepaid card. If they surrender a rifle or shotgun, they get $150 in a prepaid card. If they surrender a BB gun or imitation pistol, they get $50 in a prepaid card. Essentially, this event is no questions asked. We're not looking to identifying any community members that will surrender their weapons. We really just want to urge the community members to do so and get guns off the street and partnering with the NYPD. We think this is a great event in order to address gun violence within Harlem, and we really want to make sure that everybody is informed. Some common questions that will have been asked about this event, and I'm pretty sure people may have in this meeting, is do you need to bring an ID to surrender a gun? The answer is no, because again, we're not looking to identify anyone. And again, I want to emphasize no questions asked at this event. How do you bring a gun to the drop-off site? It must be in a plastic or a paper bag or in a box. If you're transporting the gun by car, it must be in the trunk of the car. When do you get a prepaid card? On site by our gun specialist. How many guns can you surrender? There's a payout limit up to 5 guns. So essentially, if someone gave 5 weapons, they can possibly walk out of the event with $2,500. Is there a number you can call for more information on this event? That number is 646-610-5323. Again, this event is no questions asked. It is Saturday, June 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. located at Soul Saving Station, 302 West 124th Street, 10027. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. And again, I open the floor to questions, and I will put my contact information in the chat for either of these events.
Thank you, Marco. We will be there. We've always continued to be up there. It's always a great event, and it's kind of evolved and grown. So it's kind of
yes. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you, David, for attending this event. Thank you, Dr. Christy Dela Cruz. Thank you for everyone that's been partnering with us so far. We're looking forward to making an impactful event on the younger generation in our community.
Yep, and it's going to sure be a parade with the parade of churches going on as well. Our community is full and rich of culture, and again, as we evolve as a community, we must always remain true to what our cultures are and welcome new cultures, because East Harlem has been a culture of immigrants, a community of immigrants. And both my grandparents came to this community when they came from Puerto Rico and from Italy. So it's generations. Anyway, so as we continue, I'm not sure if we have Ms. Williams from CEC 5, who normally gives the update. Don't know if Russell's been in touch. Russell sometimes is able to make that contact with us as well. But if not, we'll continue. If Harlem careers, I know sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Angela, the floor will be yours. Russell, I see you lighting up. You trying to say something?
No, I thought you was asking me something.
No, I'm sorry. I was just asking if you had heard from Ms. Williams, because sometimes she'll reach out to you to let us know. But anyway, we'll continue to move on. We have really, Angela, do you want to say anything about Harlem careers?
As you know, the other 2 people have left the board. And Ava usually is the one that updates it. But at this point, it's its own living, breathing entity, because people are posting and utilizing the space. So you can still follow on Instagram, catch us on Facebook. I think we even have a Twitter, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. So We don't have any major presentations tonight as we've had in the past. We do have some things update scheduled as the DOE has scheduled public hearings for Success Academy Charter School, Harlem 2, charter located in Community District 5, 130 East 128th Street, yada, yada, yada. The hearing will be resumed Wednesday, June 22nd at 5:30. You can register on the agenda. If you're interested, please do. And it's a SUNY charter. I believe they're going for their recharter expansion. The other thing is we have two resolutions that we wanted to address last month, but we didn't. These were passed and developed through CEC4 and passed through us as to look at possibly. One is related to increasing the MetroCard usage, again, for teens and youth in school. We have also taken a resolution about 2 years ago on this particular issue. This has some changes. I don't know if people had a chance to review it or want to take some time to review it, but pretty much it's to help expand use of times for children. Again, some children go to work after school or after school programs, don't necessarily make it by the early time, or go from school to work to another program or vice versa. And so the idea would be help to increase both the times and the amount of usage that a teen or youth could use to get around to participate in other activities that are not always in their communities. So as we talked about, Dr. Christie has one high school in this community that is ours, but there are other high schools in the community. Those kids travel citywide. And sometimes our kids who go to other schools have to travel multiple times between events, between activities and job or school, and we want to afford that to be longer. And then we have another one is to expand or increase the salaries of school occupational therapists, speech therapists, and those individuals. They do not necessarily get the increases when the U of T advocates with the teachers' increases. So they have not had increases in a long time. There was a resolution again passed. We could look at them individually. They were sent out in the previous May's agenda. Do people want to take time? Would we like to take a motion to support both of these resolutions, or one? It's not a time we could put it off till next month because last month it was actually supposed to be addressed. So is there any other thoughts, any questions, any ideas, any discussion? I could pull up, or Angel, can you, I have the resolutions in front of me.
If you can pull them up, I don't have them.
Okay, I do have them, so would I share it then?
Sure, I can take my screen down.
Okay. Okay, so here's one. So can everybody see this? This is a resolution to support salary increases for New York City DOE.
Yes.
Should I read it through? My mouth is dry.
Your mic is like going in and out.
It's because I keep moving away from the screen to read the other screen. Can people read it? Do they want to read it quick, or would everybody care to take a sentence or a paragraph? Or should we just take a motion to pass them?
David, can you make it a little bigger?
I will try. I'm working with this new thing called Google Documents.
Okay, this works.
Again, these individuals, excuse me, play vital roles in helping support many times the deficits some kids have, and unfortunately disabilities. And they play vital roles in the school. And again, I think as I've been in the school now, I see a different understanding of the importance that everybody plays, from both the maintenance, the school kitchen staff that feed our children, the relationships and emotional growth and work that they do with our children is amazing. Natasha, Ash, please, you have a question or a comment, and then John.
No, I think it's very important because not all schools have these services. Because like I went to a school that didn't have the services, and I had to like basically like go after school like far to a place, and it's very important, these services. And I think that anything that we could do to keep the therapists in the schools, like any like incentive, they deserve whatever they could get, to be honest, because they're very important. Yeah, as someone who has personally benefited from it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Ash. John?
Personally, I'm ready to make a motion on
Yeah,
both.
could you scroll down? Jason was asking if you could please scroll down.
Scroll down, yes, I'm sorry. I think, Ash said something that really tied into also what Dr. Christie said is, again, as you have to make choices of staff and how many you can afford, and that the majority of the money does go for staff in the school and salaries, as a social worker, yes, we're the underpaid. Do you want me to move it down some more, Jason? Keep going.
Sure.
I think that's good. Yeah.
So I think John made a motion. Do we need a second?
Yes, we do, Jason.
Can I second it?
Please do, Jason.
I'd like to second it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you, John. Angel, can we have the roll call?
Sure. So this motion is just for the
Yeah.
for this first resolution.
Yeah.
Here, Angela,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
John,
Aye.
Natasha,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Jason, Wolf.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. I'll pull up the second one now. So this is not much different than the one that we developed. Again, it's just, again, to expand more, to increase times for traveling. Here, I'm sorry, I'm moving too quick. There's also a focus on kids going to school on Saturdays for other additional activities, which we do provide.
I don't know if it's lower down, but does it increase the number of rides we get? Because I feel like 3 rides isn't enough sometimes to be completely, oh, okay, I see it. Now I see it.
Did I go too far too quick? I'm sorry.
David, can I make a motion to adopt?
Please, Jason.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt this resolution.
I'll second.
Thank you, Angela. Second, Angel, roll call.
Sure. Angela,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
John,
Aye.
Natasha,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you all. It's been a good year. I really felt like we're moving in a very professional direction as a board, as a committee. Angel, thank you for your time and keeping us real during this hiatus where you've missed staff and had to manage without staff for many months. Again, I just want to thank everybody. I look forward to working with new members. I look forward to continuing to expand our work, continuing to work with around youth and getting them more involved in our work, not always necessarily being on the board. I'm really looking for a time maybe this summer where we can just enjoy each other's space around just having a good time and not necessarily always fighting the issues or addressing the issues. I look forward to people presenting ideas that we should focus on next year. And I look also forward to presenting coming up soon and your support and input into some of the vision for the new community center that we're now really progressing to put forward for Children's Aid Society in East Harlem with a deep focus on adolescents. Particularly, I came to Children's Aid when I was 13, a young adolescent. And it was that time I needed a place as a youth, for youth to be able to feel comfortable, feel free to explore themselves and figure out who they are in a positive environment with supports of adults around them. Angel, you came on light, so do you want to add anything, or you gonna just say, take us home?
I was just gonna say, thank you guys for being patient with us as the staff. We've been trying to make it as seamless as possible without losing what little hair I have left. But I do appreciate your guys' patience and all the help that you do offer.
Thank you, Angel. We really do love you two and the team. And I know it's been hard for you and Marlene because it's been a long time. With the threat of going back live all the time doesn't make it easier too. But I guess we'll get through this month okay. I do always like to give space for our chair, but before Xavier, I just want to also kind of give Russell Shula a highlight just for his work in the community, but also where he opened up opportunities for East Harlem youth, Community Board 11 youth to possibly and to engage in Nick Cannon's Moogle event, where he has youth from around all over work on different projects and present on those projects. And again, Russell's always opening up those opportunities for young people in so many different ways beyond just the sports and education world that he works directly with. Thank you, Russell. And Xavier, the floor is yours.
Evening, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for a job well done. It's been a long haul. We'll see what happens over the summer when it comes to the EO and whether it extends or whether we have new business that comes before us. I'm hoping we'll be able to usher in at least a two-month break. And failing that, we'll see what executive may be able to step up. But ultimately, the work is done as committee, which is what has happened here this evening and has continually happened along many of our committees. And I just want to say, give yourself a little pat on the back, set your goals for next year. Start talking about your statement of district needs and your budget requests. David and I have to have a coffee and go through my walkthroughs with Dr. Christy De La Cruz. I got to say, we got some awesome teachers. I had some great ones growing up, and these, wow, they're so invested, so incredibly invested. The passion, and they dragged me in, literally grabbed my arm, dragged me, come look at my room. As board members, you've all been welcomed to take a walkthrough whenever our superintendent is there. She's and the principals are very ingratiating, and this is a way to get a boots on the ground experience and see what our request should be, where we are trying to fill the gaps across the board. So just keep doing the great work. Look forward to seeing what's going to come out of this summer as we work towards September of the Statement of District Needs and Budget, and just keep on carrying on, as they say. So thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you out there in the field this summer.
Thank you. So without further ado, again, thank you all for a good year. I look forward to those that will be returning next year and to the new members that will join us and strengthen this committee and bring a new level of diversity to it. So thank you. I do, as I mentioned last time, and again, I just want to thank Reverend Brown, who has taken on a fellowship around leadership and development for herself. And unfortunately, it conflicted with the time and the commitment of this committee. So I will also be looking for a new chair. I've spoken to a few people already and look forward to making that announcement. So thank you all. Xavier, I owe you minutes and I'll get them done. I say that in front of all the people here. John, you owe me 1 month of those minutes, but I owe the rest. So I look forward to getting them done as soon as possible. Thank you all. Good night. Angel's letting us stay on longer tonight.
That's
Hey,
it.
everybody.
David,
Thank you, Jason. Yes, Angela.